Hello, my little shinigamis. So, you've read the title, right? This is just gonna be a little story time since it's fresh in my head. I've been thinking about it for the last 2 days now, but yes, you've read the title, right? It is My Best Friend Stole My Crush. Or should I say ex-best friend now, forever and always. Always and forever. So, we're gonna call this bitch Two-Face. Yeah, Two-Face. So, Two-Face and I, we went to junior high school together. We had the same classes together. Well, at least yeah, 3 classes together. And so we became friends and we exchanged numbers. We had each other's numbers. We used to always text one another. Make little like back then. We used to have like those little notes where you write the note and you fold it these different ways. Like I don't know, like you fold it a certain way. And we used to give those to each other like at recess and everything. Should I say brunch? That's what we used to call it, brunch. And we'd open them and everything, say, hi, best friend, you're my best friend, like, we used to just talk, do girl talks. And after we graduated junior high school, we also went to the same high school together, the whole 4 years, same 4 years, so I had a crush on this guy who was in the same, because we had teams back then, like team this and that, so we had teams back then in junior high, so then we were on the same team, my crush and me and her, so when I went to high school, my crush also went to the same high school as us, so I started getting closer with my crush. I really liked him a lot. And first of all, let me tell you something. Looking at his picture and everything now, he ugly. And back then, I'm like, why the fuck would I actually think he's cute? He was ugly back then too. So, what the hell was I thinking? She could have had him. But anyway, excuse me. Anyway, one day it was on lunch and I had first of all, after we did a note to each other, we were talking about our crushes. So let me tell this part before I get to the other part. So we asked she asked me who I had a crush on. We're gonna call this guy Applehead. Yeah, Applehead. Don't ask why I got the name, because he ate so many apples. He loved apples, so I call him Applehead. So Applehead. Excuse me, I told her that I had a crush on Applehead because she told me she had a crush on somebody else, and she was like, "Oh, congrats! Hey, you should ask him out and everything." And then she wrote on the bottom, P.S. Bestie, I'll never steal your crush from you, no matter what. We're best friends, we'll never break that bond. So I'm like, thank you. So, excuse me. So let's see, I would say a few days after I told her who I had a crush on, we were in line waiting to get lunch, and I was texting. I'm like, where are you? She's like, oh, don't worry, I'm coming soon. Tell me why I look to my right hand side and I see them. I was like, you fucking bitch. You took my crush, dirty bitch. So, I remember that day, I didn't even have lunch. I ran to the bathroom. I just started crying and crying and crying. And I texted her. I said, how fucking dare you take him? Why would you do that? You promised me. And then she didn't even bother respond to my text or anything. And she actually asked her father to block my number, because back then you had to ask your parents to call the phone company to block your number. It's not like today where the phones are able to block numbers. So she had her dad block my number. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So, but then now we were enemies. We became enemies, and like, every time after a period, I'd see Applehead run to her classroom just to escort her to her classrooms and everything. She would always make sure to kiss in front of me, like everything. And excuse me, I was just so fucking pissed off. Like, I remember that I didn't feel like myself anymore. She betrayed me, and then I decided to end her friendship. But then one day we had a field trip, because back then we had field trips. We went to the some kind of a museum in the valley, and it was really cool. So, like, out of the nowhere, she just started talking to me. She didn't apologize to me, and because back then I was very forgiving. I was a very forgiving person. I was afraid to speak up for myself. I didn't care. So she started talking to me, and then we started speaking. It was like 2 days before the field trip, so I thought, okay, maybe she just wants to make things out. She didn't apologize or anything. So I forgot to add one more thing. So one day I should have, this should have been a red flag. I totally forgot this part of it. This should have been a red flag. I missed the red flag was when I saw her hugging Applehead, because we used to always hug one another, so she would hug him, and then she gave him a pretty long hug, and I said to her playfully, because remember the white chick scene when Terry Crews had Tiffany, she saw Tiffany talking to, what is it, Marcus or whatever, the brother, the actor, And Terry Crews is like, oh no, my brother, you gotta get your own. So I told her, because she was hugging on Applehead, oh no, my sister, you gotta get your own. She got all offended, like butthurt, like she's like, why would he talk to me? Why would he say that? That's so rude. Why would he say that? And then she didn't talk to me for a few days. So then my dumbass apologized to her because I didn't think she would get offended. So anyway, forward to the museum. We started hanging out. Like I was able to actually hold on to Applehead's hand. I was able to just sit next to him, and then there was like a indoor McDonald's there and Del Taco. No, it was Taco Bell. So I had my money, and I got myself lunch, and then I see Applehead upset. I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I have no money for lunch. So my dumbass bought him McDonald's, and Two-Face like, here, you could have $5, you can buy yourself a McFlurry. So I'm like, oh, okay, I thought, okay, cool. But then, after that, I was pissed off. I bought him lunch and everything. I was pissed off, and then, after that, she went back to ignoring me, betraying me, pretty much. Like, we were enemies. Like, she would talk shit about me, and she was the type that would always, like, say something under her breath, and I would say, what'd you say? And she would never repeat it, and then she was like a coward. She'd be far away, she'd be saying, loser, loser. So one day, and mind you, Applehead's brother went there too, but he's actually part of the Storytime, but he's not important, so we're gonna call him Stupid. So Stupid, Applehead's brother, would always start trouble saying, haha, Two-Face was talking about you. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I didn't really care. Like I said, I had no confidence back then, so I used to always ignore and shit. So it was the last day of school. It went on summer break. It was in June, and I see because they had like a little snow wonderland. It was like, it was actually not a summer break. It was winter break. So they had like a snow day where they had actual snow where I was playing around with myself, and I see Two-Face and Applehead making out in front of my face as always, and I see Applehead's brother saying remarks about me, being disrespectful, because he can never keep his mouth shut. Applehead's brother, he could never keep his mouth shut. So I actually did follow him one time. I pushed him against the wall, and he never bothered me again. So that day he had the confidence. They all had the confidence to talk shit to me. So Two-Face was like, "You're a loser." I said, "What'd you say?" I was gonna fight her, and then Applehead was trying to come after me. I said, really? You're going to fight me for your girlfriend? I said, so, no offense, you're going to fight me for your girlfriend? Why can't she fight me? She needs you to protect you. How stupid is that? So then, long story short, we started not being friends, and before I graduated, I heard through the grapevine that Applehead gave Two-Face STD. He gave her a fucking STD. And I was saying in my head, because we just learned about that too, I'm like, oh my god, thank god I never kissed him, I never actually did anything with him, thank god, because I was a virgin back then, so I was just like, that's karma for you, bitch, you got STDs, now what, you can never, it's probably not going to go away. I don't wish anything bad, but I'm just saying, you got STD because you stole my man, my crush, who I no longer like anymore. So if you guys want to get back together, I don't give a shit. I don't even know where you are anymore. And so yeah, that's my story time about my ex-best friend taking my crush. And that was like the most pettiest thing anyone could ever do. I would never do that to anybody, but yeah, that thinking about it now, I laugh. Back then I used to always cry about it, but now I'm just laughing. Bitch got STDs. I'm on. Oh boy. And also, she did take my best friend too. She took one of my best friends away. She recruited, because I wasn't cool with her, she recruited my best friend, who I used to hang out at her house and everything. She recruited my best friend to be her best friend and hate me, which is stupid. If you don't like me, hate me on your own. Don't fucking recruit others who don't recruit others like my best friend or others to hate me with you. It's stupid. So anyway, thanks for watching my story time, and I'm sorry that I stuttered. I get nervous when I speak fast, or I'm trying not to forget what I want to say. But yeah, thanks for watching my video. See you guys next. Bye.